Forget everything you think you know about Mexico. The preconceived images I had in my head couldn't have been further from the truth. We planned to visit 5 locations in 2 weeks, and at the end of our time, the only thought we had was we'd wish we'd stayed longer. So we'd heard about this place, some kind of island paradise, a place called Holbox. Now, Holbox is located on a peninsula covered in mangroves, making it inaccessible to reach by land. So the only way to get there is by taking a 20-minute ferry ride, and when you arrive, it really does feel like you're on an island.
I'm loving it so far. It literally feels like we're on like a little private island. It's kind of weird walking on here because the sand is under the water. Normally when we've been on sandbars, you can see the sand and then the water's around it.
Turns out the sandbar is only accessible at low tide, and this is definitely not low tide.
That was a terrible idea.
After aborting the mission, we watched the sunset and decided we'd try again first thing in the morning. I know this may look like a really relaxing and peaceful place to come, especially with the music, and that's what we were hoping for. But in reality, that morning we woke up to a weather warning, and the wind sounded more like this. And throughout the day, the wind progressively got worse. And worse. And worse. I think we're aborting the mission for this beach. It is way too windy and the sand isn't really sand, it's like shells, and the shells are just hitting us.
And there's a big gust of wind, just a bunch of, it feels like pins in the back of my legs. We went back into the room for a couple of hours and we've got out and the whole place is flooded, but it hasn't rained. I'm so convinced.
Two options. Either there was a tsunami that came from the sea and just flooded the place, or like the sewerage has failed and there's pumped out sewage water. Because it hasn't rained, so I don't know where else it would come from.
It's a mystery. I feel like I'm going to have to ask someone because this is wild.
It turns out the sea caused the wind to flood the town and no one seemed too bothered.
It's so flooded you can't avoid it.
It's getting worse.
It is getting worse. We made it.
Luckily it was time to leave, so we headed straight to Chichen Itza to avoid the crowds.
We have made it into Chichen Itza.
So Chichen Itza is a famous archaeological site and also happens to be one of the 7 wonders of the world.
It's actually a little bit smaller than I expected it to be.
So this building here is the El Castillo, which is the famous, what you think of when you think of Chichen Itza. Apart from just looking really cool, the El Castillo actually serves a much deeper purpose, and it goes to show really how intelligent the Mayans truly were.
They used to use it as a calendar back in the Mayan days. So there's 91 steps on each side, and including the top one, that adds up to 365 days. There's 12 columns, which represents the months of the year, and then there's 4 sides which represents the seasons. So they actually used to use it to know when to plant crops and all things like that. It was really cool. This is the bowl court where they used to play a game called Pocket Hawk, where you used to have to get the ball through the hoops without using your hands, and the losing team would be beheaded and the winners would actually carry around the heads as trophies for like 3 days.
It turns out this site's much bigger than we thought, and Chichen Itza happens to be one of the largest Mayan cities ever built.
This place kind of makes me feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones film. Because of how ruined the ruins are, it's kind of hard to think that people actually lived here.
This cenote behind me is the sacred cenote, or also known as the portal to the underworld that the Mayans believed. And they used to sacrifice things, their valuables, their gold, their jewellery, and even their children to worship the gods. I didn't realise there was another big pyramid. It's obviously not as big as the other one, but
still pretty impressive.
the building behind me is an observatory. The Mayans were actually really into astronomy, and they used to predict solar eclipses and the lunar years and all that stuff. About 30 minutes away from Chichen Itza is a town called Valladolid, and this place is exactly how you would picture a Mexican town. Colourful buildings, stray dogs, churches and parks, and it even has a cenote right in the centre, which we just had to check out.
Oh, our first cenote, I'm excited.
We are heading into our first cenote here in Mexico. Now, a cenote is basically just a natural water pool that you can swim in, and they're all over Mexico.
Huge.
Very close.
Oh gosh, it's natural, it's always nice. What? I don't know if he's going for the medium here, or if he's going to go all the way to the top. Let's see how brave he is. Let's go to the big one! Oh my gosh, there's a huge giant fish here, look.
How was that?
That was so much fun. For a first experience of a cenote, this was an awesome one. I can't believe it's right in the middle of the city. This is like a proper old school Coca-Cola drinks machine. Oh, it's freezing. I didn't think it would actually be that cold.
We've made a little friend, a little stray dog friend. Apparently all the rabies in Mexico was wiped out by 2005, so any dogs you see, they're all chilled out and they're happy to play.
Yeah. I want to name him, but I think I'd get attached, so I bet not.
Go!
Yay! Oh!
Good boy!
Yay! Well done!
We spent the rest of our evening relaxing on the grass and playing with our new friend before moving on to our next stop, Merida. Still not sure what that was about, but they raised the flag. We didn't have any plans for our time in Merida. It was just a stop to break up the journey. We spent the day wandering the streets before continuing to the south of the Yucatan Peninsula. This is a cool monument.
This is a really cool monument. This has got to be one of the coolest ones I've seen in a city.
Next stop, Bacalar, and the Lagoon of Seven Colours. If you're looking for blue water, you've come to the right place. We've rented a kayak, we've come to the other side of the lake. We're checking out a little spot called Pirates Canal.
Can't believe how clear the water is. This place is literal paradise. I don't think I've seen water this clear ever.
We made it to one of the cenotes that surrounds the lake, and you can just see how deep it is here.
We've given up on using the kayak in the correct way, and Ashley's now just pulling me along.
So much easier.
And I get the nice job of just sitting back, relaxing and enjoying. I'm a little bit sad we've got to leave Bacalar. I wish we could have stayed longer.
It is now our last day here in Mexico. We are in Tulum and we are spending our morning exploring the Tulum Mayan ruins. The Mayan ruins of Tulum sit on seaside cliffs high above turquoise waters that extend as far as your eye can see. The structures themselves are modest compared to other grand Mayan cities, but Tulum captures your imagination like no other. I love how the Mayans built the city here right next to the beach.
So the reason this beach is cordoned off is because every year 2 sets of turtles come and lay their eggs here.
Since we started travelling, we like to try and put ourselves outside our comfort zone. And initially, that's what we had planned for Mexico. But somewhere along the way, somehow, it turned into somewhat of a relaxing holiday. I think it's time to get in the water. I guess that's just what Mexico does to you.